Once you uncover and unravel what it is, you will easily give it up once you see that it logically doesn't make any sense for you. Hi, my name is Steve Martile, and today's video, I'm going to talk about the source of all emotions. Now, this is a pretty bold claim to have claimed that I'm going to be able to give you the source of all emotions, but the more that I've worked with clients, the more I've come to the same realization and the same outcome every time, that emotions come from something we believe, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. So the basic hierarchy first is that we believe something, we get certain feelings, okay? Like I'm talking about a lot of negative emotions you might have right now. They're coming from something you believe. Those feelings then create experiences and stories and narratives that you tell yourself about what you believe. Now, because you don't see it and you're unaware of what you believe, you might not realize that the feelings are causing it. But I'm going to give you a specific example. It's not like a super, well, let's just say for this video, I find it's going to explain a lot in terms of where the hierarchy is, in terms of where emotions come from. So I'm going to use, instead of using the person's names, I'm going to call her Susie. So I met with Susie on the weekend. There was a few of us, we got together just socially and we were talking. Susie has this business that is in the retail, but what she does is she creates women's clothing. She designs them. She's very, very, very creative and very talented. And Susie's frustrated. In fact, she's gotten to the point where she feels hopeless because she works in this full-time job and she's been creating these clothing lines, coats and dresses for a few years now. And they're not selling the way that she wants them to sell. So I said, first of all, I said, how do you feel? She's frustrated. She feels like it's not going to work. She feels like her whole dream is just not going to happen at all. And I said, what are you doing to try to get sales? And she said, well, we're posting on social media. I said, okay, is that all you're doing? Yes. And then she went on to explain that all these other people that she's following online that are in this space, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling online on Instagram, using social media to sell their products. And so she's been trying to do the same thing. And the more that we started talking about it, I had said to her, well, and you know, this was a conversation. There was a few of us in the conversation. We were all saying that if I'm going to spend $400 on a coat, I need to try it on. That's just me though. And we kind of went around. There was kind of a consensus. If we're going to spend $400 on a coat, they want to try it on. So we keep talking. I say to Susie, well, what is the reason that got you excited about this in the first place? She goes, well, where I'm from in Eastern Europe, she's like, it's very common for a boutique to sell these one-off pieces that are very unique. They don't make like 5 or 10 of them. They might make a couple sizes, but it's just like, it's a one-off. So you're the only one that has it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. And I said, well, what's stopping you from going to these boutiques and just walking in and saying, hey, would you like to, sell more of my stuff? And I'll give you the pieces and the clothing and you can just sell it. She said, yeah, but she goes, I don't know what to sell. I was like, oh, I'm like, well, to me, it seems like a very clear, straightforward value proposition. I said, what's the boutique owner, like this boutique? They're selling these women clothes. I said, what's their motivation? They want to make money. I said, if you go in and you bring your stuff to them, your coats, your dresses, and you say, hey, do you want to make more money selling my stuff? If they say no, go to the next person. But at the end of the day, they want to make money. If you have a product, why wouldn't they want to sell it? And if you don't find someone, just keep asking until you do. Eventually, you're going to find someone who wants to sell your stuff. Why? Because they want to make money. So this got her really excited because she had a 3-month trip planned this summer in Europe to actually go and spend 3 months there. So I was like, just go up to the boutiques and go as many as you can. I said, in 3 months, you should be able to go up to quite a few. So that took away the fear that of like, okay, well, I can go out and do this. But this is the key thing. Before we had this conversation, she was frustrated because she believed that she needed to sell her stuff on Instagram using social media. That was a belief. And as soon as we started talking about her buying process, like a coat that's $400, probably someone wants to try it on, and say it would make more sense to actually have the coat in a boutique shop so that people can try it on. And she said, yeah, that makes sense. She goes, the other thing is I need traffic. I said, well, these boutique stores have all the traffic. All you're doing is using their traffic to sell your stuff. The owner of the boutique store gets a little bit of money, and so do you. Make it a win-win-win. So after having this conversation, she realized that logically, it doesn't make sense to sell her coats through Instagram. It doesn't mean that there aren't other people doing that, but for her, it didn't make sense. And that's the key thing. When you believe something and you unwind it logically and you see that it doesn't actually make sense for you, you will give it up. And when you give it up, you will give up the feeling and the experience and the story that goes with it. So it's really a powerful thing that if you can really look at what you believe, and I guess you have to start with what you feel. And if you feel any sort of negative feeling, fear, anxiety, you got to ask yourself, well, what would I need to believe in order to feel this way? And when you get really clear on what it is you believe and you like, well, that doesn't really make sense, then you drop it. And when you drop the belief, it's gone. And now you can move on with your life believing something new. What's interesting is that our entire lives, we're going around listening to people, believing what other people are telling us. We did it when we were young. We did it when we were small. Our teachers, our parents, we believed them. And some of those beliefs were limiting beliefs. They were limiting our potential. There's other beliefs that we have about other things in the world. We see stuff on social media, we believe something. And then it creates limitation, it creates a certain experience, and then a story that goes with that. Well, I can't make money doing that because you need to sell on Instagram. Now, I gotta say, once I got clear on the conversation, the next day I woke up, I was like, oh, that was the limiting belief that was preventing Susie from selling her stuff, her clothes, her unique products, was that she believed she needed to do it a certain way. And how many of us believe that if we're going to attract money in our lives, we need to do it a certain way? What I'm saying is, if you can surrender to your higher self, the creator, source, God, you will find a way. And this is key. You will find a way that's perfect for you because each one of us is unique. And if you're trying to do something without taking that into account, then you're just modeling and doing what other people are doing. But if you're doing it because it's coming from your soul, it's coming from who you actually are, you incarnated, it's your true essence. You're not trying to replicate something else. It feels alignment with who you are, and you're still not able to make money doing that, then you may have a limiting belief. Again, scarcity or the feeling of not enoughness, the reason you have the feeling is because you believe something, and that belief is not aligned with who you truly are. So ask yourself, if you had to feel this way, what would you need to believe? Once you uncover and unravel what it is, you will easily give it up once you see that it logically doesn't make any sense for you. Okay? I hope you found this useful and helpful. My name's Steve. If you haven't yet, my book is now out. It's on Audible. You can listen to free samples of it on YouTube, and you can check it out. I'm doing a series with United Network News, and we're doing a training series. We're in, I think, pre-recording episode 4 or 5 tomorrow. That's why I actually have a microphone and a camera and some of this stuff. It was part of the gift they gave me so that I could use it to create the show. And I just thought I'd record with this new format and see if you liked it. If you did, then please let me know in the comments below. Okay? And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. My name's Steve, and I'll talk to you next time.